Hello, booktubers. Welcome to the Scholar Gentleman. I'm in the Zero Room, which I guess you could call my library. I'm just going to take this for 1 second. I'll introduce you to this room's other inhabitant. There's Willie, named after One-Eyed Willie because his left eye has a blotch in it that we adopted him with. We adopted him because we didn't think he'd be adopted with that blotch. So turned out to be a great cat. Here in early April, we're getting a nor'easter here in New Hampshire. You'd think, the snow would be done by this time of year, but it's not. So we're just going to have to wait for it to melt off. Anyway, I'm here because I did a miniature book haul in SAVERS yesterday. I went to go get my comics, and I don't know, I felt I just needed to look for new books, new to me anyway. Even though, as you look around me, there's plenty of books here I haven't read yet, and I don't think that's a detriment to anyone who loves books, loves reading them. In the middle of a mountain walk, it's an anthology of Cthulhu mythos fiction, short fiction, and I'm doing it in such a way where I read a story, and then I stop in the middle, and then the next day I go to finish the second half and then start a new one. So it's always a to be continued so that I can read it. Because if any of you have ever loved H.P. Lovecraft or people who are influenced by his writing, it's kind of a dense writing style, so you need time to kind of get used to the ebb and flow of it. And if you read too much, at least in my experience, if you read too much Lovecraft, it does weird things to your head. Quite honest, the guy was touched with a very, very unique gift. Let's just put it that way. And I'm going to show you my little Cthulhu Funko Pop over there. Hopefully, okay. See over there that gray thing by Stephen King's Different Seasons. That's Cthulhu, the gigantic walking octopus-headed elder god that sleeps at the bottom of the ocean somewhere in the city of Ryla. And one day he'll come up and he'll take over along with the other elder gods that once ruled this universe and crush humanity without barely blinking an eye. One of his little mucus eyeballs. I guess that's why I like cosmic horror. I guess it's the manic depressive side of me, the darker side that, humanity's efforts mean nothing, and there are huge destinies and plans swirling all around them that they can't ever hope to affect the outcome of, and their hopes and dreams mean nothing, period. And when you're in a down mood, that's exactly what it feels like. So I'd say Lovecraft is the province of people who have a touch of manic depression or a touch of depression, period. There's a great story in there called, well, of course it's upstairs, the last Harlequinade, I believe it is. Basically, it's if you've ever had seasonal affective disorder, this story speaks right to it. The next video I'll give you the name of it because I'm only halfway through the book. But anyway, I want to show you what I got for my little book haul. I'll go in the order that I bought and I picked them up in. Once upon a time, last Halloween, I read Dracula. Oh, is this Penguin? Bedford St. Martin's Press. I read Dracula this past Halloween. It was on a Penguin book, and it was annotated. I think it looked like a teacher's edition. It had all these activities one could do after the teacher could help the kids to do after they read the book, so they could appreciate the book better. I bought it because, well, I like the look of it. Penguin puts out really great books. And but the thing is, as I was reading it, it was just very, very hard to hold. It was kind of unwieldy. I'd like to drink my coffee, and I couldn't really hold it in my hand while drinking a cup of coffee because it was just too big and unwieldy. So I donated that to a little free library right down the road. I've done a video of that way at the beginning of this channel. And I picked up another one. This one where I can read. Dracula's a really cool book. It's where basically, I know everyone who hasn't read the book knows the story, but the thing I love about Dracula is you have a whole bunch of people from differing walks of life, the aristocracy, lawyers. There's this one cowboy type in there from the United States of America, who the British would probably consider a hick back in Victorian times. They all come together. A medical doctor from Holland, Dr. Van Helsing. They all gather together to stop the machinations of Count Dracula from getting a claw hold in England. They drive him back, and it's an epistolary type of book where it's told through journal entries and letters, and I really enjoyed it. I was surprised. It's very much a product of its time, the Victorian era, but I really enjoyed it. I can see myself reading again once upon a time in the future. Next, well, as I'm into comics, of course, I saw this and I had to get it. It's got stories from Kim Newman, who's written the super awesome Anno Dracula series, amongst other things. It's got a fresh Hellboy story in there, if you know about Hellboy, the comics and the movies. It also has what's his name? It's just the guy who created Babylon 5. It's a really hard name to pronounce, and maybe it'll be here. I think Kurt Busiek, who created Astro City and wrote Marvels, has a story in here. I think that was included in one of his Astro City novels too. It's basically a very toxic love affair between a superhero and a supervillain. Hold on, what's his name? I guess not. I was thinking of